Yo, what's up, YouTube? So, I got pretty bored of scarab farming. I think there's probably a couple more people who feel the same. So, I decided to look out for a new strategy that is, first of all, pretty fun and also highly profitable and competitive in the current market. And so I came up with an idea that I already had closely before the leak, that I theory crafted before the leak, which is farming cluster jewels in T17 maps. So basically the idea is that in tier 17 maps you have an area level of 84, which means that you can farm cluster jewels of item level 84 deterministically. Aside from simulacrum, of course, because who likes simulacrum, let's be honest. Anyway, so the idea was basically farming cluster jewels, and now I sat down yesterday or the day before, and I came up with a strategy that I'm here to share today. So if you're as bored as I am of scarab farming, stay tuned. This is gonna be pretty fun. Also, a little side note is you can make between 30 to 50 divines an hour, but this strategy is incredibly hard. Like it's a tier 17 map farm, and you're also using delirium. And not only that, we are using endless delirium. There's a couple ways we can make it easier on our builds. Especially because of how the rewards are scaled. So it's not like impossible to do. For example, my character, I self-griefed myself this league with a couple rerolls in builds and wasting my currency at wrong moments, not being able to farm certain content at certain moments. Anyway, so my character isn't as strong as it could be, and I can still reliably farm these tier 17 maps, even though I couldn't kill the boss before I equipped Mage Blood yesterday. So, yeah, that's the difficulty. Notice. Just be warned, the strategy is hard, and it's also gets pretty tilting if you die quite a lot, but yeah, well, if you have a pretty good character, that shouldn't be a problem. And you can also farm quite a lot more money with the strat than the 30 to 50 divine that I farmed an hour. Yeah, so let's get into it. What's the strategy? We are playing with Endless Deli. And the reason for that is Endless Deli gives us, every time we fill a reward bar, it gives us a chance to drop a cluster jewel for the amount of reward tiles that we have. So we are trying to push as many rewards as we can. This is highly important. Every single reward in Endless Deli has a chance to drop one. There's, even though I've filtered every single medium cluster out, and I'm still seeing like around 5 to 6 cluster jewels in one reward tile. Like, it's absolutely incredible. You can get out with like 15 to 20 cluster jewels with minimal investment, by the way. Like, the investment cost of these maps are basically only the map, because these scarabs sell for nothing. And we are also not using expensive map crafting options, only something that is actually giving us power, like dominations. So yeah, the strategy is basically we farm quite a lot of endless daily rewards, and the atlas tree, I've made 3 atlas trees that you can choose based on your current build. The difficulty scales with the trees, of course. Like I've made a tree with for lower investment characters, like for middle investment characters, and one for a high investment character, like a more min-maxed version. I think there's a couple more things you can do and combine with a couple more scarabs that you can use that might be pretty interesting in this strat. I haven't been able to test out everything, but I've tested quite a lot of deli this league, and what I came up with was that the best league mechanic to add rewards for your deli progress is Alva, because Alva is incredibly cheap on your tree. Like if you the starting points are basically free if you decide to path to the left side. So as long as you take things on the left side, like deli, for example, or in my case beyond as well, then this is basically free. Then you put in like 3 points for some other chance, a couple more points for more incursions and other chance, and another 4 points for other chance and magic monsters, which is, by the way, pretty insane if it procs. Yeah, so basically Alpha is very, very cheap on your tree, and it adds insane amount of monsters. And also the magic monsters give you more reward progress and also more loot, of course. Which means that it's gonna be easier to fill up your reward bars. I'm gonna explain what we are exactly filling, how much we are filling, etc. later. But the point is, Alva helps us fill our rewards in a very, very easy way. Also, if your build is tanky, Alva is pretty easy. If it isn't, it's pretty hard, so it kind of depends. You don't need to take Alva, it's just a support mechanic to fill reward tiles, so if you don't want to take Alva, just skip it, it's fine. Same goes with shrines. Like, shrines are just there to give us a little bit more power and to give us a couple more mobs. They also have the magic pack mobs there, which is pretty nice. So synergize as well with our build, with our tree. But you don't have to take these points, right? These are like support mechanics that you can, if you want to, put into different things. Like I think hobby farming could be quite a nice idea. In tier 17s, I don't think breach is a good idea, simply because of map layouts. Abyss might be okay, not sure. Ambush is probably good. Blight is probably good. So there's a couple things you can try and test out, like these support mechanics, but keep in mind there's a couple things that we have to take on our tree. Not many, but I'm gonna explain which ones there are. We need 100% delirium chance. We need this node, like we need to get to 100% so we can save on one scarab. That scarab, it doesn't matter what it is, but that scarab is gonna give you more rewards, because either way you're gonna add more monsters, or you're gonna give your monsters better rewards, right? Or you're gonna, like me, you're gonna use the reward fill faster thing so you can get out of your map more quickly. So basically we need 100% chance of delirium mirror, and we also need endless deli. The reason we take endless deli over normal mirror is, even though it's harder, quite a lot harder, and more annoying to run your map, but it's better because in normal mirror of delirium you only get the rewards at the end. And don't ask me why, but for some reason when you complete your mirror, you only get like, I don't know, 2 to 3 cluster jewels. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but in Endless Deli, you get, every time you fill up a reward bar, you get get a chance at cluster jewels. So basically, Endless Deli is a lot better for farming cluster jewels, like far, far, far better. So we need to take Endless Deli. And we want to get more cluster jewels, so delirium monsters in the maps have increased chance to drop cluster jewels, are pretty nice nodes. Not mandatory though, because you don't get that many from mobs. However, this is scalable. If you would, for example, use or convert all monsters to magic monsters, Scarab, instead of one of the other Scarabs that I'm using, then this could be pretty insane, because the delirium monsters are gonna drop quite a lot more loot from themselves, right? So that's these nodes are scalable. Yeah, everything else is basically support mechanics. as you can notice in my tree, I haven't taken the map effect nodes, simply because we are farming, or I was farming, at least I was farming only the reward tiles. Like, I'm not farming, I wasn't even killing the boss, because it was simply just taking too long. Like, one of my maps took around 9 minutes, including looting, and 4 of those minutes was spent to kill the boss. So I don't know. I could have just ran a second map in the same time and maybe get twice the loot. So I skipped killing the boss. I just went into the deli mirror and started farming, which got me to around a 5 minute clear time, including looting, because we are not, or at least I wasn't full clearing the whole map. I was just clearing until I had 7 reward tiles. And the reason for the 7, I filled up 7 reward tiles. Yeah. And the reason for that is because the more reward tiles you fill, the harder it gets to fill the next level up. So you need exponentially more monsters to fill up your, to kill more monsters to fill up your reward tiles. So basically at some point it just becomes a balancing game of which is better for you. Like, just opening up a new map, getting the new rewards, or keep filling the current map up, because you can get more out of your investment, and also the higher you go, the more chances you have, etc., etc. It entirely depends on your build. Like, if you have a strong enough build to go for, I don't know, 12 rewards, let's say that was possible. If you can go there, you probably should. But I couldn't, so I just stopped farming. Stopped farming above 7 rewards, and just took the 7 rewards and went out of the map. This way, you're gonna get quite a lot less loot, and it feels pretty cheap. I'm gonna be honest, like, especially leaving the boss alive in these T17 maps, because every single boss kill is basically 3 0.5 divines, and if you drop a yoke or some other unique, you get a couple divines extra. So if you can kill the boss, you should do it. But yeah, it's yeah. How are we running these maps? If you're running Endless Deli, the problem is if you go into your mirror and you kill all your mob monsters, you're gonna fill up your rewards, and the delirious effect is gonna get harder. Like, the damage reduction and the damage the mobs deal is gonna get higher, which means the boss is gonna be harder if you do it at the end. However, you can just jump around the mirror, or like take the other path in Fortress, for example. Just take the other path, go to the boss room, kill the boss first, and then go back to the beginning and go to your deli mirror and clear your map. That's how I was doing it when I killed the boss. Keep in mind, it's a little bit annoying to run to the end and run back to the beginning and also kill the boss, and it's a little bit annoying. It's gonna take up a bit of your time, but yeah, it depends how you want to do it. If your build can handle a full delirium boss, that's even better, because we have the delirium imagined pursuits node on our atlas tree, which gives us 1 more reward progress when we kill the on map completion, which is basically when we kill the boss. So if you can kill the boss at the end, that's even better. Go for that. But yeah, entirely depends on your build, entirely depends on your current investment level. So I can't really give you advice on that. Yeah, so what's the setup? The setup is pretty simple. I'm using the Delirium Encounters in Area generate 2 additional reward types twice. And I'm also using the Delirium Reward Meter Fill Faster also twice. The reward types is mandatory. I don't think you should change them out. These, I would take 2 of them, because as I said, every single reward type gets filled up and has the chance to drop a cluster. And we need to drop quite a lot of clusters. Like as I said earlier, in around 20 maps you drop about 150 small clusters and 150 large clusters, and of those 150 small and large clusters, you get like of the small ones you get like 2 free passive mana reservation ones, and of the large clusters you maybe get like 5 to 6 large clusters that are sellable. So you need to get quite a lot of them, and the best way to do it is the reward types scarab. And the other scarabs are interchangeable. Like I've taken the reward meter fills faster just because I want to clear the map faster, get it done quicker, get more cluster jewels. But I think there is a couple more things we can do. I've currently sold my scarab tab, so I can't really show it off right now, but just to give you a couple ideas, I think the magic convert scarab is absolutely incredible for delirium. I've also used it when it wasn't this expensive as it is right now. I was using it in a delirium mirror farming strategy as well for T17s, and it was very, very, very good. Also adds quite a lot more loot to the map, so always a plus. I also think the other horn scarab that gives you increased quant and rarity whenever you kill a mob is also pretty nice. However, since it doesn't scale up our rewards from the endless deli, it's not really synergistic in that sense. But I still think it's nice. And yeah, if you can use other league mechanics, like if you decide to play Harby, if you like Harby, you could potentially use 2 Harby scarabs, like for example, one that adds Harbies and one that gives you more chance to convert them to Harby bosses. That's definitely a way to go, and I think I will definitely try that in the future. Keep in mind it might be harder, of course, right? Just make sure you want to get to 7 rewards. That's the most important part. Do you want to get to 7 rewards? And then whatever is on top of that, you can basically change however you like. That's completely up to you. I found the best way and the easiest way was definitely Alva, as I said earlier. Alva shrines are pretty good. Ambush is okay. And beyond is actually pretty manageable if you if you don't really juice them up, right? Because most mobs are white mobs, some rare monsters in there, but it's at least for my build it's manageable. Now there is one more thing I want to show you. There is a vendor recipe for these cluster jewels that you should 100% use if you pick up every single cluster jewel as I am, which is 5 rare clusters, whatever passives, whatever like passive skill it grants. It doesn't matter. You need 5 rare cluster jewels. If you put in different rarities, this doesn't work. They need to be rare. So make sure to scour your magic ones and then alch the normal ones, and then you can sell them 5 to 1 for a random cluster jewel of the type you sold. In this case, I got nothing back, but it's very, very worthwhile. Like when I did this, and I as I said, I found 150 small clusters, 150 large, and I've then sold everything that wasn't I then recipeed everything that wasn't great, and I got every single time when I sold them, I got at least 1 cluster back that was valuable again. So once I got a free passive mana reservation, which was basically 10 divines extra. The last time I got 12 passive bow, which is also like 8 divines extra. So yeah, it's pretty nice. You should 100% use it. There is an argument to be made. If you say you don't want to pick them up, it's time consuming, and you don't want to do the vendor recipe, you'd rather just farm the valuable clusters, then you can definitely do that. That's completely up to you. However, if you really want to do more profit, I think then a recipe is quite nice. Yeah, so this strategy is, as I said, very interchangeable, and I think I haven't seen the min-max yet. There's most likely still some things to figure out. My current idea is that even though the Anarchy Oriflammes got nerfed, I think there's still a very, very, let's say, maybe there's a way to use the Beyond Scarab again, like kill the unique monsters Beyond Scarab again, with some Anarchy Flames and some other things we could potentially take on our tree, because we, aside from maybe Alva and a couple Delirium delirium points on your tree, you're very flexible, so you can potentially try out different things. Also, keep in mind, delirium adds quite a lot more quant to your monsters, which is currently missing in every single league mechanic. So yeah, just to put it out there might be some interesting strats that some MF players haven't figured out yet. Just saying. I made around 30 to 50 divines an hour doing this. I finally managed to farm my mage blood. Like, I haven't had any currency the day before yesterday, and I managed to farm my mage blood in 2 days now. So it's pretty nice. I already saw the prices for the clusters drop a little bit. So if the clusters drop, I don't know, under a certain level, let's say 5 divines, then this strat might become, well, it's definitely gonna become less profitable, but this strat might become less of a, well, competitive strat, let's put it this way. Currently, it's pretty insane. I think it's better than Scarab farming. It doesn't require MF. It's pretty fun, actually, because every time you see a thing, you get quite a lot more things because of good clusters, right? So it's fun. Yeah, that's it. Let me know which strats you found, which version of the tree you liked the most, and of course how much currency you made. And yeah, see you next time. Bye!